In the bustling streets of Ouagadougou, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the young leader of Burkina Faso, stepped out of his car after a long day. The city was alive with movement. Vendors shouting, children playing, motorbikes zipping past, but in Nabingadia, the middle of the chaos, something stopped him cold. On the dusty sidewalk sat a man with torn clothes and empty eyes, his hands stretched for coins. Ibrahim's heart sank. That face, though weathered and broken, was one he knew well. It was Musa, his childhood friend. And behind that broken figure lay a story of racism, rejection, and dreams destroyed. Years ago, Ibrahim and Musa were inseparable. They studied together under mango trees, dreamed of serving their country, and promised to rise above hardship. Musa was brilliant, especially in mathematics. Teachers said he was destined for greatness, and when he won a scholarship to study abroad, the whole neighborhood celebrated. At first, Musa's letters from Europe carried excitement. He described classrooms filled with opportunity, the thrill of learning, and the hope of building something new. But slowly, his words shifted. He spoke of cold stares, professors who underestimated him, and landlords who turned him away. No matter how hard he tried, he was seen not for his mind, but for his skin. When jobs slipped through his hands and friendships dissolved into isolation, Musa's confidence began to crumble. Years later, he returned to Burkina Faso, not as the triumphant scholar people expected, but as a man weighed down by invisible scars. Employers mocked him, saying, "If Europe rejected you, what good are you here?" The boy, once full of promise, became a man society ignored. And now, sitting on the street in rags, Musa was a silent reminder of how racism can break even the brightest spirits. As Ibrahim approached, memories of their youth came rushing back. The nights spent studying under dim lanterns, the bold promises of changing the future. Musa had always been the dreamer, convinced education could lift them all. To see him like this was unbearable. People walked past Musa without a glance, some with pity, others with contempt. Whispers followed Ibrahim. Why is he stopping for a beggar? To them, Musa was invisible. To Ibrahim, he was still the boy who once inspired everyone with his intelligence. Ibrahim studied his old friend's face closely. Behind the exhaustion, there was still a spark, faint but alive. It wasn't laziness that had destroyed him. It was the endless barriers, the quiet humiliations, the walls of prejudice. Musa's downfall wasn't personal failure. It was a system that refused to let him rise. The young leader felt anger, but also resolve. This was not just about Musa. It was about every young African who had gone abroad chasing dreams, only to return broken, unseen, and discarded. How many others had the world silenced? How many talents had been lost to racism's cruelty? For Ibrahim, this encounter became more than a reunion. It was a test. Would he walk past, like everyone else? Or would he show the nation that dignity could still be restored? The crowd grew larger, watching carefully. Phones lifted to capture the moment. Ibrahim knew whatever he did now would not only define Musa's future, but send a message far, beyond the street. In a move that stunned everyone, Ibrahim bent down and knelt before Musa. The street fell silent. The president, kneeling before a beggar? It was unthinkable. He placed his hand on Musa's shoulder, a gesture filled not with pity but respect. Slowly, Musa looked up, and their eyes met. For the first time in years, someone wasn't looking down on him. Someone saw him as a man of worth. Then Ibrahim did something even more powerful. He helped Musa to his feet and walked beside him through the crowded street. People gasped, some cried, others whispered, but no one could deny the weight of the image. A leader choosing humanity over pride, compassion over distance. That short walk spoke louder than speeches. It was a declaration that no one's value is erased by injustice, that a broken man can still rise when someone chooses to lift him. The images spread quickly. Social media filled with photos of Ibrahim walking hand in hand with Musa. Some criticized it as symbolic, but many more saw hope. Ibrahim went further than a gesture. He ensured Musa received support, dignity, and a place where his knowledge could finally be used. More importantly, he addressed the nation, speaking of the deep scars racism leaves, not only abroad but within communities that judge those who return. He called on his people to build opportunity at home so no one would have to beg for dignity elsewhere. Musa's story became a symbol. His suffering was no longer hidden. It became a mirror reflecting injustice. His recovery showed that compassion and justice together can rebuild even the most broken lives. For the people of Burkina Faso, the lesson was clear. True greatness isn't measured by titles or power, but by the courage to lift others when they fall. And for the world, it left an unforgettable question. How many Musas still sit in silence, their brilliance wasted, their dreams crushed? If you found your old friend broken by injustice, would you walk past or would you stop, kneel, and help him rise?